Alright, this short video just showing the insides of the 6-speed transmission for the Evo 9. I've cleaned everything and assembled the bottom part of the case. No shift forks in there yet, but all the stuff's in there. It's all lubed up and ready to go. And I'll show some of the broken parts. This is the original transmission for the car. Took it out at about 130,000 miles. Still in very good condition. Just needed to have wear items replaced. I think I had maybe a shift fork that might have needed to be replaced too. Let's see. I got the top case here in the parts washer. Little plastic guards in place, new seal. Cleaned up as best I can. Both original cases. I took out the original transmission and put in a completely rebuilt transmission with all the new parts that I could get for it. Had it built by TRE Transmissions, and I had a 4.0 final drive put into it. And there is the 4.0 final drive. It ended up having problems. You can see that little piece of the gear taken out there. What happened is the bearing on the other side blew out and blew the case out. And when that happened, this end moved, broke this bearing too. So I had planned on going back to the stock final drive. This is good if you want to go for a land speed record, maybe. I buried the speedometer in the car in 5th gear. Still with probably about 700 RPM to redline. And it's really you wouldn't even need that on the Autobahn. Let's look at some of the parts going with it. There's the ACT clutch. Streetlight flywheels in the car. I think I had it in there for about 30,000 miles. Not the clutch, but the transmission was about 30,000 miles. This clutch was in there for maybe 15. Everything looks great. Actually, it was a real nice clutch. Real nice. Good, nice equipment. It's got that special locking ring that you get with the ACT clutches. I'll show that. I call it the monolock ring. It was a lot easier to pop open than the stock one. Much, much easier. Okay, and let's check out the case from the transmission I had built. I had a couple of problems here, and we're looking at that bearing that I said was on the end of that final drive shaft. There's the broken raceway. Let's see if there's any other damage on this section that you can see. I don't think there's anything here that you can actually see on this part of it. Oh, there is a section here. This was, my transfer case ended up getting loose and broke the dowel hole. All gone. And here is the other side, and the hole from the inside. It's a little dark. And the hole from the outside. Okay. I did end up reusing the gear set because I paid for it to be polished, and it was beautiful. So that's here. I also reused the sliding hubs and synchronizers, because those were in really good shape too, because it really wasn't in there for that many miles. I just went through the whole thing, cleaned it all up because it was debris. Let's see the shift tower. That's the shift tower I'm going to use. Made that white bushing in there because the original ones, no matter how you do it, brand new, they have some play in them, and it translates to a lot of play at the shifter. And actually, that white bushing doesn't look like the right one. That's the right one. It's got Delrin bushing. And it makes the shifter very, very, very tight. Very tight. So that's going to be the shift tower. I should have it together tonight, and we're going to try to put it in this weekend. There's other parts going on to this particular car. I'm going to show one of the front coilovers right there. This is a Pro 7 from Tanabe. Zoom in on that 7. With Hyperco springs. I've had that type of suspension on the car for about 8 years. Maybe a little longer. It was time to had a broken spring, and I got lucky. There were a set of these at the Tanabe USA warehouse as a part of testing back in the day. Since they've been out of production for 10 years, I was able to get a brand new set. So these are going on the car. I've got the T's in the car, which is the control system for the valves. If you look on the very top there, you can see a little pin sticking out right here. And there's a little servo motor that goes on top of that, and this is an active dampening control. You can, as you're driving, it can change dampening settings. At the time, it was the only system that you could get that you could adjust on the move. Other types are adjustable, but in between settings they are dead. You can actually damage the damper itself if you try to adjust it while you're moving. This is designed to be adjusted while it's moving, and it keeps the suspension and handling neutral. It also allows you to have no dampening, or at least minimal dampening, which makes the car ride really, really well, especially on the highway. Kind of a neat feature. But we'll talk more about that when it gets put on there. But I figured I just wanted to say something about the transmission. Don't see too much about the 6 speeds. Had good luck with them. I'm always going to have a 6-speed. It makes a big difference in how the cars run and perform. And hopefully we'll be able to show that once the car's up and running. All right. Until next time, bye-bye.